Hi guys, welcome to Medellín, Colombia. I got in yesterday morning, and at first I ended up doing a walking tour in the morning, which is really good to learn a lot about Colombia and its history and explore the city for a few hours. So we learned about everything from the beginning, when people were coming here searching for gold, the Spaniards, and later when the railroad was built and how that transformed the country. They were able to import and export and all that kind of stuff. And then, of course, when all the coffee plantations were blooming and they were growing coffee all over. And then all the way, of course, into when cocaine was big in production and the times of Pablo Escobar and all the tragedies and things that occurred. Anyways, learned a lot about the history, so it was really interesting. And we walked around to lots of different areas. We walked through this busy kind of like shopping area, where the streets were just packed with shops and things like that. Went to some different parks. One of the ones that we stopped by, I think it's just called Parque Botero, but they have all the sculptures built by Botero, the famous artist, which again, they're all kind of the fat-looking sculptures. And there was this really beautiful building there that we learned about. It's kind of this black and gray checkered building, beautiful architecture. It was built by this Belgian architect, and I forget why, but at some point the Colombians were like, we don't need you anymore, we'll finish it ourselves. So they opened the blueprints and looked at it and were like, this is pretty complicated, I don't know how we're gonna do that. Looks a little bit too difficult, so they just decided to finish it with like this plain wall. So you can see on part of it, it's pretty funny. The side that the Colombians built is just this kind of blank gray wall, nothing special. And then the rest of it is this beautiful black and gray checkered, like fascinating architecture. So pretty funny to learn about that. Went by this little park or plaza where they have live music. There'll be like old guys sitting around in a circle playing music, and that's kind of like their thing that they do. And we checked out this other plaza that it has these two Botero sculptures, the original and a newer one, and we heard the story behind that. Basically, the old one has a lot of the sculpture missing, like it's a bird, and the inside and the tail feathers and all that's gone. And so what happened was, years ago, it was within, I want to say, the past 20 years maybe, someone had placed a bomb in a backpack right by that sculpture during a concert. So 22 people died, and I think 99 injured. Anyways, so of course another tragedy happening in Medellín in Colombia, and so the mayor actually wanted it removed, the sculpture, because it basically was like ruined from the explosion. And Botero himself called the mayor and was like, don't you dare remove that sculpture. If you remove it, it's basically like nothing had ever happened. And so he said he would donate a new one. But so there's the old one and the new one side by side. And so again, sad, but interesting to learn about all these different things that have happened. And I had heard and also have seen and was told on the tour, Colombians in general are really happy and friendly, and curious too, like during the tour. And he was also saying that people will kind of just like come over and kind of peek in and see what's going on. Like they're really curious, but they're happy that people are coming to their country to visit, because before, no one was coming here. It was too dangerous. So basically things have come a long way. And I forgot where I was going with that. I think there was a point to it. But anyways, interesting to learn about like all these things, the sad things that have happened, but that even like through all the sadness, people are persevering and they try not to focus and dredge on the sad things in the past, but focus on the positive things when they do happen. For example, he was saying that like there was this one World Cup game in the 90s when they scored against Germany, and they didn't even win the game, they tied, and like after that they were eliminated out of the World Cup, but Colombia was going crazy, as if they had won the entire World Cup. So like any little thing that probably for other countries they're like, no big deal, or we lost, like Colombia's just going crazy, like end of the world, so celebration. So anyways, it was good, learned a lot along the way on the tour. And later we went to this bar that's a tango bar. They had all these like old pictures inside. Some people from the tour went, and we tried one of the local beers, Tres Cordilleras. And then afterwards some of us went to the Jardín Botánico. So walked around there a bit, but not too much or too long. It rained for a bit, and then there was also an event going on, so a lot of it was closed off. But did that yesterday, and then later went over to my friends where I'm staying. So I'm actually visiting with a friend that I know from Argentina from 12 years ago when I was studying there. So we haven't seen each other since then. So pretty crazy catching up. But yesterday we went out to El Poblado, which is this area that's nice, touristy. They have a lot of bars and restaurants and nightlife and things like that going on. So a lot of people go to that area. And we went to this restaurant and had pizza, which was delicious. It's actually, I think, one of the best meals I've had on the trip so far. And they only have vegetarian pizzas there, but it was really good. It was a chimichurri one, and I love chimichurri too. And we also had hummus as a starter, which was also really delicious. So had that for dinner, tried another local beer, and we went to this spot that is known for this one drink. It's actually a shot. It's called the cocaína rusa, which is Russian cocaine. It's a shot of vodka, and they put a slice of lime on top, half dipped in sugar and half dipped in coffee. So you shoot it, and then you eat the lime basically, and that it's actually a really good chaser. You don't taste the vodka at all, so that was good. And then afterwards went to this place to get a beer sampler and tried some different beers from Bogotá Brewing Company. So anyways, that was cool, also getting to check out that area and the nightlife. Lots of salsa going on all around, lots of lights and things out too, because of the holidays it's decorated a lot. Anyways, so that was really cool to check out. I'm definitely gonna have to do some salsa while I'm here, because I was really tempting. Listening to all the music, I felt like dancing, but it was a chill night. So today has been also pretty slow day. Didn't really get out till the afternoon, and took the metro cable up to where I am now, which is Parque Arví, or Arví. And so it's cool. Actually, one of the big things too, for Medellín, showing that they've come a long way, is that they built this metro. They're actually the only city in Colombia that has a metro. And this metro cable, which is like a cable car that goes up the mountainside, is part of the system. So you can actually use the same metro ticket to go all the way up to the top. And you get beautiful views going up to the top, and basically it's going up the mountainside. There's favelas along the side, like in Rio. So not areas you want to get off and explore, but at the very top there's this park where I am now. So I've been exploring the park a little bit, walking around. They have some trails and things, doing this one archaeological trail. So they have some things you can read about along the way, like ruins and stuff like that. And they had a little market at the top where they're selling fruit and different artisanal things and things like that, some live music. So that's pretty much what I've been up to in Medellín so far. I'm not totally sure what we're doing later. Probably grab a bite at some point tonight for dinner. And then tomorrow I'm planning on going to Guatape, which is a side trip from here. So not 100% sure yet, but that's the tentative plan. So let me show you guys the view real quick of the park. There's a little river here, as you can see, and this little platform that I'm standing on. Anyways, so that's pretty much it for now. Oh, I also forgot to say that we learned about paisas, which is basically the people from this region of Colombia are called paisas. And in general, I'd heard and learned people from Medellín are really proud to be from Medellín, more nationalists, or specifically this region, even more than being proud that they're Colombians. So that was interesting. And also tinto, which I kind of learned some more. It's black coffee, whereas in other Spanish-speaking countries that usually means red wine. So here you're allowed to bargain a lot when you're in markets and things like that. And they say the friendlier you are, the more you make conversation, things like that, they'll drop the price for you. So anyways, just some side notes and things that I learned, but I will talk to you guys tomorrow, probably from Guatape. See you then. Bye.